Hey friends, and welcome back to a new video of Fort Petria. Yes, we are back in Prehistoric Kingdom. It's been a minute in here, but it's been there's been a lot of things happening lately. There was the contest, as you guys saw in Planet Coaster. You guys have been seeing me upload the parks, so it's been a little bit of a dry how do you say, content week of stuff for me personally, but do not hesitate anymore because I am back, and hopefully I can come back into the whole 2 or 3 videos a week upload. That is kind of like the goal. So today we're building our realistic coffee shop here in the museum of Fort Petria. And I gotta say, this has been something I've been wanting to do for a while, since with the scaling and stuff. It's something that I thought, you know what, why don't we try to see what we can do with this, and what are the possibilities, and when can we kind of like stop, and what can we build more on. So what I'm doing today is pretty much a coffee machine, espresso more likely, and then I do a hose, a sink, I'll do some cups. I'll try to make this look as real as possible as it actually would see if you were in a museum and you wanted to take a little, you know, get a cupcake or a cake, coffee, you name it. Everything here, it's here. You want it, you can get it. So, first of all, what I wanted to do was kind of like make this sort of counter, and I did it, like I had to do it 3 or 4 times, redo it, because first of all I made it way too tall compared to the scaling. The scaling in this game, personally, like when it comes to people and stuff, it's a little bit weird because I don't really have people in here walking with me, and I'm actually not sure on how I can actually get the people to get into this museum here. We'll see how things will go out, but for now I'm really happy for the entire build and how things are looking. I tried to do it as best as I could here, as you can see with the glass and stuff. I didn't know if I should take like more dark glass or if I should take the more see-through one where you can actually, where it's not dark as this, but I felt like, you know what, if I do it with the light or the other windows, it wouldn't look the same. It wouldn't give the same effect. So I felt like this were the way to go with this. And as you can see, I redo stuff all the time because then I figure out, oh, this is too tall, this is too tall, and it's a big puzzle, to be fair. It's kind of like Tetris a little bit, but we kind of made it work, so I'm excited for that. I'm happy for that. After we kind of like built all this stuff, we also like try to do the interior of the coffee shop. So like we do, as I say, cupcakes. We try to make it look like it's inviting, it's warm, and also the color schemes and stuff. I'm just trying my best at it here. And this is something that is completely out of my nature to build, FYI. Like I do not build stuff like this. I have never built stuff like this in general. Interior, yeah, sure, but not a coffee shop like this. This is very new to me, so that's also why I'm super satisfied on the end result of this build today. Because I did not expect myself to actually finish and actually build something this cool here and so realistic looking, to be fair. Let me know down below what you think. But I would also say, I think why I think like this is because the option is there. I know that I can legit build pretty much anything in this game with the scaling section. Like, it's that easy, it's that simple, you know? So underneath the glass monitor here, I'm trying to do some lockers, a little bit of shelves, so a little bit of stuff where we can add our clutter pieces and whatnot to it. It's mainly just in the later progress of this build that I figure out what I kind of want to have in it. For now, I'm literally just trying to build the whole vibe here of the shop. I did look at some reference pictures here and there. I found a few ones, and all of them were kind of like have this sort of modern wooden vibe, and I felt like I wanted to try that too, and it would work perfectly into our museum here. I have this super cool cinematic shot at the end where you start being in the museum part, and then it kind of like slows over to the coffee shop here, and it just works, guys. It just works for sure. So as you can see here, I'm just trying out stuff. I'm trying to to get things to look nice here. And there were a little bit of jumps and stuff, because otherwise this video would be somewhat long. As you know, I'm making an espresso machine here later on in the video, and that took a lot of time to do actually. But the end result of it though is absolutely amazing. I'm a big fan of it, and as soon as the workshop opens, that becomes a thing in this game, I will definitely load it up, or upload it, I mean. It's just nice to know that with the scaling, you don't have to think about, oh, is this piece too big? Because then you can just, you know, make it smaller. So all your builds here can be really polished in that sense. I do still think that there's a long way with the building mechanics in this game, but with a little bit of stubbornness, and if you just like gonna get into the habit of things, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And we also, as I say, we've been very used to Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo for the past years, and this one is not so, like, it's not so it's very similar is what I'm trying to say, but also not. But that's something for you to figure out yourself when you get there. So as you can see here, I'm trying to add some more details to the walls here, trying to make it more, how do you say, a little bit more real, and also a little bit more nature-wise with all these things here. So I'm kind of liking it, you know. So afterwards, I wanted to have more of a, how do you say, like a wall where they, you know, they can spill some stuff. There's some stuff they can get on there, and etc. And that's kind of like what I do here too with this wall. As you can see, I took the smallest rock piece there is, and then I just kind of made it smaller so we can get this vibe. And I'm doing this all the way around the build here, like on top and in the back, just to close it in, and it just makes sense, guys. It literally just makes sense. But I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of music here, and then I will return shortly. Right, what you just saw me do here was like making some lamps that I kind of wanted to have hanging above this whole coffee shop here, and I'm gonna duplicate them and use them different places in this section here for the coffee shop. And that's all. I'm trying to figuring out what kind of vibe I afterwards want. As you can see here, I'm trying to change up the textures to the wall, to the floor, so we kind of get different textures and vibes going it, so it's not just the same floor. So that's something I really value. So now to one of the most important things to the video, the espresso machine. And what you can see is that I used a lot of the ventilation stuff to make this, and some of the pipes. And then I literally just looked at a few pictures of an espresso machine, and I literally just tried to create my own in this way. As you can see, I'm using literally only all these pieces here to make it, and that's literally just what I need to do to get this. And I gotta say, from all the things I've ever built custom, this is probably the coolest thing I've ever built. But also we got the scaling, so the scaling makes everything a lot easier. As I just said like a few minutes ago about that, you can legit build anything in this game if you just have the will and the stubbornness and the creativity pretty much. Then this game has no boundaries, literally just your fantasy and imagination how everything works. So here I'm using this sort of the grab here for hanging some things up, and I thought that was kind of cool. It kind of worked well with this, and I thought it worked well. And I just thought after I kind of installed all these things, I was like, damn, this is actually turning out to look pretty good actually as an espresso machine. Because when I first started this one, I was like, how in the world am I gonna start with this? But as I say, with a little bit of willpower, you can make anything in this game. As you can see, it's starting to somewhat look of an espresso machine now when we got all these things together. And then afterwards, I'm just trying to figuring out how to close it off so we can get a nice cool top of this machine here. And I use the ventilation hats, or how you say it, for the top part for like the whole grinder section, which I think it's super cool. It actually works amazingly well for that. And I'm also quite amazed how much you can scale these pieces. Like there's no limit on how much you can scale them. As soon as you can just see them, then everything else is fine. And I think that is super awesome. But yeah, as I say, this one will be on the workshop as soon as the workshop becomes a thing for Prehistoric Kingdom, along with some of the other things that I've done. And then afterwards, we'll just see how it will go on the workshop. I can't wait to build a lot more blueprints for you guys, since blueprints were kind of my thing in Planco and Planet Zoo. So I could imagine it being the same here in Prehistoric Kingdom. So cool, right? Yeah. And afterwards, we're also gonna start making mugs and cups. We're making like a billboard with like that has what they sell in here. We'll make a sink, as I said. All these things they just appeared to me when I was building this, because as I say, it's doable now. So everything, yeah, sure, it might be a little bit more exhausting and time consuming to do these things, but is it worth it? 100%. 100% it's worth it. So just adding a little bit of dots and buttons and whatnot to this guy to make it feel like that it has some functions. And besides that, then that's pretty much how the espresso machine ends up looking, guys. Some of you were very like, you wanted to see how this was made, so here you have it. Here is a little video. Hope it wasn't too fast. If it is too fast, let me know down below in the comments, and then maybe I can slow down the tempo a bit for next video. Because for me, yeah, it's pretty much, I don't really noticing as much because I do it as well in many other games. And we're actually going in 8 times speed now. So it's not that it's super crazy. I usually go with like 10 or 12. So there you have a little example on that. So yeah, we're doing some shelves here with the cups. And after we did that too, that adds so much to it as well. It definitely gives the coffee vibe. And something that's gonna be super cool is when I'm making the muffins, the cupcakes, etc. That's fun, and I think you guys are gonna like them too. It's all the basic shapes I pretty much use, and that's pretty much it. So here afterwards, we're trying to add a little bit of detailing, a little bit of clutter, because a lot of these coffee shops have usually plants and pots and plants just randomly placed everywhere. So I thought, you know what, let's just do the same here. And you will slowly see in this section here what kind of things that I do. Eventually I will cover up all this and make shelves too, and some cabinets and all kind of cool things. So I'm duplicating the coffee machine, and then afterwards I just do a little bit of stuff as well. And then we're slowly moving towards where I do a lot of the clutter work. Here we're doing the billboard. We're calling it black, and then I'm gonna use the small fonts we have in the game and just make them even smaller, and then just write them separately, which is obviously I wish that we had something else to do that, but we don't really have any custom signs yet. We only have these letters. So this is how kind of like things are gonna go. So don't worry, you will not see me write everything, but we do usually just write the usual stuff right now. Coffee, cappuccino, macchiatos. And then later on we'll add latte, vanilla, hot chocolate, all those kind of things. So I felt like break time was a kind of a cool name for this. Like, hey, it's break time. You gotta get some coffee and cakes here before you wander into the museum. And I'm really liking that. After I add that sign here, this build just popped up crazy. It's crazy to me sometimes how signage or foliage, what it does to a build. Actually, like it's quite amazing how things work like that. I'm not super fan of like how the whole vibe with these this font here. There's a lot of lighting on it if you take other colors, and I'm not super fan of that, but it is what it is though. We can't really change that so much lately. But they're gonna come with a new update very soon, guys. Like as I said, with workshop stuff and new dinosaurs. I don't know if we get new pieces. We'll definitely get terracotta roofs, which is the one I have asked for, because if we're making Mediterranean stuff, then that will definitely be a top-notch achievement for us to get in this game. But yeah, pretty much adding tons of clutter in the background now, guys, as you can see. And then it's pretty much just going ham with it. I'm trying to fill in the gaps, trying to make it feel like it's busy and all that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing today, guys. Afterwards, we're moving towards here, and this is where I figure out that I've made it too tall, because I was making some custom chairs too, and those chairs became way too tall if I had to place them. You will see it in just a few seconds. Then you'll see me start on these. I don't know what these chairs are actually called, so let's just call them cafe chairs. But it's these that has like this little circular sitting position in it, and then they have like these long thin stilts of legs holding them, supporting them. So I'm just trying to make those, and afterwards I was putting it next to this wall we just made, and I saw that that it was too tall, so I had to stop the recording and go in and redo all the things pretty much. Well, at least just move it below, right? So it fitted well for the height scale, and it worked. It was a little bit, you know, it takes tears, but we got through it, and that's the main point. So making the chair, and then afterwards I figured out this annoying thing, so I just go in and redo that, and then I'm pretty much done with what I need of assets for sitting areas for the coffee section here. We do make a little sitting section on the right side too, but we're not making any more custom things besides the cupcakes and cakes, obviously, which is pretty nice. You guys are gonna love them, I bet. If you're not hungry after this video, then I failed. My bad. No, but yeah, it's really cool like how you do this. Like it's so nice, and I really feel like an interior designer sometimes when it comes to these games, because it's fun, man. It's really fun to do interior like this, to make it feel like real, like to make it feel alive. It's just so nice. But as you can see here comes the issue I talked about. This was not well planned. Not well planned. So yeah, we'll just cutting it out a bit, and then all of a sudden you'll just see how things work. So this is like the perfect way of having like a coffee to go sort of mug here, or cup. So I'm just doing this here, and then I'm just legit just spamming this guy around. As you can see, it literally looks like one of those cups you get for going for takeout or takeaway. So guys, I'm really happy for how we got this build finished today, and I hope the waiting was okay. I will be busy for the next 2 weeks or so, so there will not be so many videos of Prehistoric Kingdom, but in September we will come back strong, and then we can finally start adding the Brachiosaurus habitat, which I have been talking about for a while now, and I kind of want to do that since this is also an animal game. We have to remember that. So we have animals in here. We should probably get back into that and try and make a cool Brachiosaurus habitat. So you can look forward for that, guys, because this coffee shop stands 100% finished. We might maybe just do a little bit of stuff afterwards to the reception, to the lobby, because this is gonna be lobby and coffee shop. So as soon as you enter this, you'll see the coffee shop with the whole reception lobby kind of vibe. So that's like also what I want to do here, right? And then when we get there, we can slowly go back into the museum and try add some more precious rooms for all the things that they're gonna have, like all the samples, the collections, the monitors, all that stuff, right? So this is something I'm totally stealing from a build I saw where there was this little circle arch here that was kind of like connecting the build to the other thing, kind of like transitioning, making it like a cool ass wall. And that's kind of like the vibe I was going with here too. And I just skipped it a bit because, yeah, you know, it's pretty much just planks everywhere. So nothing too crazy about that, guys. So we are doing the last bits here, adding some signage again on this front, and then we're adding some benches, some plants, all that fancy schmancy stuff. And then we're slowly moving towards the end here, friends. But I am going to give you guys some more music right before the end here, and then I'll see you in a bit. So as you guys can see in the background, here is the hose that I talked to you guys about, that I also try to make next to the coffee machine, and it kind of works pretty well. I don't know, maybe I'll make it a little bit more thicker, the hose, when I get back into it. I'm not sure, but in any case, it still looks like what I wanted to have, like a sort of a hose looking thing. And then I just kind of attach it so it looks like it's attached to the wall, and it kind of looks cool. Real good plumber work, you know? No, I'm kidding. But afterwards here, guys, we're literally just trying to fill in the gaps. That is literally what the last minutes here are all about. We're trying to add some more decorations to the walls, as you can see here, trying to just duplicate this big picture we have on the other side. Eventually we'll try to like make a few pictures ourselves, just with like the basic shapes and stuff. It shouldn't be too much, but maybe that's for the museum sort of part, right? So guys, planting a lot of shit, okay, placing a lot of things here, writing more stuff to the board here. I just kind of skipped it so you guys can sort of see how things are looking with it now. As you can see, we got dark roast, black coffee, espresso, we got different tastes, caramel, coconut. You need it all here. If you want a good experience and you need good coffee, this is the place to go. I personally just drink my coffee black, just straight up black. So I don't need all these things, but so once in a while it does taste nice with a little bit of different taste. What kind of coffee do you drink? Are you like the black coffee guy, girl, or are you more like a you need something to it? You can't drink it that pure. No? Well, let me know down below, guys, what you think. So now comes the fun part here. We are slowly moving towards the end of the video. And to end it all off, we obviously are gonna make some cupcakes. And I'm trying out some different pieces here to see how can I get cupcakes to look as good as possible in this game. So I tried some stuff, as you can see. We tried the ropes here. We tried the little ventilation top hat there. And we tried a lot of things. But then eventually I just went back in and I kind of like, you know what? Let's just use the basic shapes because they kind of have the vibe for it already. As you can see, this basic shape literally have like a cake vibe already. Like, so that's what we do here, and that's pretty much the cupcakes we're placing, and then we can place them inside the monitor so they actually have something to show here and actually inviting people and make them a little bit hungry. You know, that's the important part. So here we're making a little standalone I get plate where we place all these things up. Also end up doing a little bigger cake to place on one of these, and it kind of works. It works very well. I do make 3 cupcakes, that's pretty much it, and then we are slowly just adding stuff in the monitors just to put in some things, and I clean up and change up some things. So yeah, guys, this is the end of the build here. I really like this build here. Let me know what you think of it all, guys. Did you have any chance yet of trying to play around with the scaling and make something cool out of it? Let me know as well. On what kind of coffee drinker are you? Yeah, and what kind of animals do you think would look super cool after the Brachiosaurus? Let me know down below, guys, and remember to give the video a like if you think it deserves it, and if you want more Prehistoric Kingdom content or just more of this speed build stuff. I do lots of other games, so hit that subscribe button, guys, and also check out the description. There's a lot of information down below. Enjoy the cinematics, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you around. Bye bye.